AITA for not letting my husband sleep in on the weekend? First time posting in English is not my first language. I 27 F and my husband 24 M have an agreement that every Saturday he sleeps in and I take fully care of the baby. 10-month-old. During the morning and on Sundays he takes the baby and I sleep in. So this Saturday the baby woke up around 7 a.m. I wake up at the same time, change her and go make the bottle. Shortly after I'm feeding her, my husband shows up in the living room saying he can't sleep anymore. I understood. I mean, it has happened to me before and it's completely natural. At night my husband turns to me and said that since he woke up early that day that he would be sleeping in the next day, Sunday. I said no, since that is not our agreement and that it's not my fault he didn't sleep in. He said that it's not fair because he works and I don't. To give a little more context, I'm a SOM and he works full-time during the week. The thing is, I do most of the household chores, which I don't mind BTW. And his only responsibility is taking out the trash and unload the dishwasher. I do everything else plus take care of the baby. He usually just helps me with baths and watches, plays with her while I make dinner. We're fine with how things are. We're a happy couple and family, but I don't think it's okay for him to throw around that he works. And I don't, when it was a joint decision that I would stay home with the baby until she turns 1. He ended up waking early and letting me sleep in today, but when I woke up he let me know that he was really tired and that I wasn't nice to him and should have let him sleep in instead. AITA for not letting my husband sleep in? Extra info. We usually wake up at the same time during the week since I pack his bag for work. So I don't sleep more than him during the week, and when my baby naps I do chores that I can't do when she's awake. Update. My husband has apologized for the way he spoke and that he could have phrased it better. All is good, and thank you all for the comments. A lot of you are shocked I pack his lunch bag for work, rolling on the floor laughing. I get it. I have been doing it since we got married because I packed both our bags at the same time. I do it out of habit and honestly as a nice gesture for him. He appreciates it and I know he does. NTA. But I do have a suggestion. This isn't my idea but something my friend did when she was in the same situation. She documented her schedule for the entire week, down to things like 1:05 p.m. son napped, did dishes, planned dinner. It really gave her husband a better insight into what the SOM life was like and how she wasn't snacking on chocolates watching General Hospital all day. NTA. This is the exact same arrangement I had with my husband when ours was a baby. He works outside of the home. You work 24/7. You get up with the baby 6 days a week and it is not your fault he didn't stay in bed. You deserve one morning a week too. NTA. I know things happen, but I do think it's good you stood your ground. Y'all made an agreement and it was upheld. You kept a standard. In employed SAHP arrangements, it's way too easy sometimes for the employed parent to forget they are, in fact, also a parent. This is what leads to parents saying things like they're going to babysit their own kid by not being involved enough. You made a joint decision to have a baby, and it needs to be a joint effort to raise it. And sometimes that means being sleepy. Additionally, you're working a job with 0 days off. At least your spouse gets the weekends off from his job. Asking him to take over baby duty one morning a week is not unreasonable. NTA. And that I wasn't nice to him and should have let him sleep in instead. And that's how you know your partner cares more about themselves than you or your well-being. AITA. In no way were you mean or even rude. He's literally just being a parent. NTA. You agreed to something and he can't break it whenever he feels tired. NTA. As you said, it's not your problem that he got up early on Saturday morning. NTA. Hopefully you changed his diaper and got him a warm bottle, too. NTA. He isn't being a good partner or parent. The fact that you're not making money doesn't mean you're not working. You're engineering a life for him that would cost well over $100,000 if he has RO pay for someone to care for his home, feed him, and do round-the-clock childcare. Regardless of him occasionally taking out trash or playing with a baby while you cook, he's not pulling his weight. There needs to be a conversation about an equitable spread of work. He needs to pack his own bags for work. He needs to allow you breaks rather than just spending time EOTJTHR baby while you do other chores. He needs to step up and THR fact that he sometimes wakes up a bit early. His sleep-in day through no fault of yours doesn't give him the ability to steal your sleep-in day. He's a major NTA. Your husband could take a nap in the afternoon if he really is that tired. NTA. He could have stayed upstairs and relaxed. You didn't ask for him to come down. Sounds like you have 2 children with the amount you do for him. Have you reevaluated your setup at all recently? NTA. It's a shared responsibility and he needs to stick to his commitments. In the end, you both have only one day to sleep in. You were already up on Saturday. It would have been different if he was up before you and let you sleep in. But it's not like he did anything on Saturday besides waking up earlier than expected. And he probably wasn't very exhausted from the week, so he would have slept longer so he could have gone to bed earlier on Saturday. NTA, of course, and the time where your little one sleeps a little longer will come soon. It's hard for both parents, but definitely more for you. Tell him if he does wake up before you on Saturdays he can switch days. But never if you're already up and caring for your baby's needs. He can take a nap during the day. You can't. He said that it's not fair because he works and I don't. You absolutely do work, and for longer. More grueling hours. All this and without pay. It pisses me off to no end that men breadwinners don't think their some wives aren't doing any work. Y'all work 24/7. And again. With no pay, no employer-required breaks, etc. NTA. You would be if you purposely woke him up early and ruined his sleep. But you didn't. It's not your fault he couldn't sleep any longer. Sunday was your turn. If he wants more sleep, he can nap or go to bed early. If he'd been nice and asked to sleep in, that would be another thing. But he made the unilateral decision that you now get to wait another week to sleep in. And if you start giving him both weekend days to sleep in, he'll start insisting it's always that way because you can just deal with it. You both deserve the opportunity to sleep in regularly. He doesn't get to just take yours whenever he wants. You are NTA. And I won't go into many other opinions because you say you're currently happy. So I'll stick to pointing out one thing. Extra info. We usually wake up at the same time during the week since I pack his bag for work. He's already getting extra sleep 5 days of the week because of a sacrifice you're making to your own sleep schedule. If you weren't together, he'd either pack his lunch before bed or have to wake up earlier to do it each morning. I'd nip his attitude of you not being as deserving of a break because he works outside of the home in the bud as quickly as you can. Resentments will grow if he doesn't see you as providing equally. NTA. Only because he told you, not asked you, that he would be sleeping in the next day. If he had asked if it would be okay and explained his reasons, then I'd go with nah based on good communication. NTA. Your workload isn't any lesser than his just because you don't get a paycheck. Taking care of a baby is hard work, and you even take care of almost all household chores. This just shows how little he values and appreciates the domestic work you do, and puts his work over yours. Plus, both of you agreed on this arrangement. Said it didn't work out once because he just naturally couldn't continue to sleep in. That's not your fault. NTA, and maybe a wake-up call for a conversation or marriage counseling session. It sounds like he's maybe harboring some resentment about being home with the baby and him going out to work. If he feels like he needs the sleep in more, he may not realize how much of the load you're carrying. These things can grow and grow until it becomes a big issue in the marriage. NTA.7M is a lie-in. I agree with you that it was not valid for him to throw out the "I work and you stay at home" reason. Being at home with an infant and making a nice home to live in is work. Also, just because he woke up does not mean you have give up your sleep in day. Maybe he can make up for it with a nap instead? Info. Was this baby nursed around the clock and continues to nurse? Because if so, that's kinda A+1 in your column right there. But, aside from that, it seems like you have a good thing going on in your marriage. And things should not be tit for tat or +1 I did this or that. Instead, you should sit down and have a rational conversation about how you found this comment hurtful and explain all the things you do at home while he is at his job and see if it changes his mind.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.